you're highly regarded by the big companies in construction in terms of what you can do for them. Do you see a opportunity for a small builder, construction owner to capitalize on your little black book, where you might have somebody that's been in the corporate ladder for years and decides, right, do you know what, Scott, I'd like to do something on a scale up construction business everywhere, where I think I can add on my value.
That is probably one of the biggest things I get asked all of the time. I mean, that's something that's really stood out. And it's a fantastic question, because virtually guys that are looking to finish, the CEOs of, big tier one contractors, guys that have got serious amount of experience, house builders, chairman, various different people, CFOs, they're coming towards their end of their careers and they want to give something back. Whilst they don't want to carry on with that full-on CFO, CEO, whatever C role it might be, they still want to do something within construction. They have got so much knowledge and they want to give some stuff back, and they're not expensive. Everybody seems to think that it's going to cost you an absolute fortune to get one of these guys on as a non-exec. If you think about, you've got their time for a day, I can't really give a figure, but it's nowhere near as much as you would think. And it's all on a case-by-case basis. But imagine having we're talking, say, groundworks again. You've got one of the senior leaders with one of the biggest groundwork contractors in the UK who's prepared to come in and talk to little old you for a day a week and go through some of your issues, look through what you're doing. How much can you take from that individual? You don't need to employ him.
Oh my God.
It'll blow your mind about, and he cares. This is the big thing as well. He wouldn't be doing this if he didn't care. And there are so many people out there.
They're excited for you to win, to be successful.
Yeah.
I totally get that. I'm glad that we're having this conversation. I'm actually even thinking I might even talk to you myself. But no, I think there's probably a niche in that area alone, that people that are struggling and that want to scale their business probably feel, or there isn't an awareness that they think that this opportunity presents itself to them.
Pretty much
there.
anybody.
But likewise, on the recruitment side of things, sorry to cross you, but on the recruitment side of things, I don't think there's agencies that sort of have tapped into that.
Yeah, don't. It's what I want to do, and there's a massive market for it. There's guys out there and especially when you look at what's around the corner, just look at the numbers, the people in the industries, those guys that were born in the baby boomer times, the guys that are, coming up to 65, the guys that were born in the late mid 60s are now leaving the industry. When you start to get to 73, 74, that's when the birth weight drops down, and it drops off a cliff. There wasn't the training being involved there, the experience is not there. And then you get to the mid 80s, the late 80s, when you had another recession, then people dropped out again from the industry and went elsewhere. You've also got the problem that, people weren't being put through training because it cost additional cash. And you've got a massive gap. Those guys that are 45 to 55 now, and the trying to replace those guys that are between the 55 and 70, they're just not there. The quality's not there. And it's unbelievable. You've got guys that are still in their 80s owning companies because they haven't found somebody, even in the last 20 years, to take on that business. They don't trust anybody enough. And what a lot of these regional contractors are doing now are bringing in younger guys with potential to work with and mentor some of these guys with promise. They'll make them a managing director, and then they'll have a CEO. But he'll leave him alone for 3 days a week, and then he'll come in for a couple of days to see what's been going on. Where does he need some support? Where does he need some guidance? Have you got any questions? And if you can build that level of trust up with these guys, I can't tell some of these smaller companies take on board and learn from some of the best people out there.